The red dust of Mars never stopped moving. It covered everything: the broken machines, the rusted walls, even the faces of people who no longer dreamed. Among them was a thin boy named Eli Dre, 14 years old, living in the ruins of an old mining colony called Red Haven. No one cared about humans anymore. The galaxy had moved on. Aliens ruled the stars, and humans were just another weak race, useful for cheap labor and nothing more. Every morning, Eli woke before the suns rose, coughing from the dry air. He carried metal scraps to the alien overseers. They called him Dust Rat. He didn't answer. He just worked, quietly, eyes full of something he didn't understand himself. Anger. Or maybe hope. At night, he sat alone on a rocky hill looking at the sky. Sometimes he saw the bright silver trails of alien warships flying between the stars. He always wondered, what did humans used to be? He had heard stories, whispers from old miners, stories about Earth, oceans, blue skies, but he had never seen them. To him, they were fairy tales. That night, the wind was cold. The colony lights flickered, and the alien guards shouted in their deep, growling voices. Eli noticed something strange beyond the scrapyard, a faint blue glow coming from under a pile of broken engines. Curiosity burned inside him. He waited until the guards went away, then crawled through the junk piles. The air smelled of metal and smoke. He pushed aside panels and wires until he saw it, a small, half-buried cube humming softly with a rhythm like a heartbeat. When he touched it, the glow became brighter. A female voice whispered, "Commander detected?" "Reconnecting." Eli jumped back. Who's there?" The cube floated slowly into the air. Tiny lights moved across its surface. "I am Aura Artificial Unit for Rapid Adaptation." Command DNA confirmed. "Identify yourself, Commander." Eli froze. "I'm not a commander. I'm just a miner." "Incorrect," the voice said softly. "Human command line verified. You are heir to Tactical Bloodline CO9. You are my commander." The sound of alien boots echoed nearby. Eli panicked. The guards had noticed the light. They shouted in their strange tongue, weapons glowing red. Eli grabbed the cube and ran. Blaster fire cut through the darkness, striking walls and metal heaps. The ground shook. He tripped, rolled, and crawled behind an old ship hull. One of the guards aimed directly at him. Then something impossible happened. A blue energy shield burst out of the cube, surrounding Eli like a bubble. The laser beam hit it and vanished. Aura's voice became firm. "Defensive protocols active. Commander, follow my signal." The shield pushed the aliens back with a shockwave. Eli saw the guards fall unconscious. The cube's light dimmed. "Low power," Aura said. "Emergency escape required. Where do I go?" Eli whispered, terrified. "There is a hidden base beneath this colony. Coordinates uploaded. Move." He ran through the burning scrapyard, clutching the cube to his chest. Every corner glowed red, alarms screaming. The ground opened into a metal shaft. He jumped in and slid down through dust and smoke until he hit cold stone. The lights flickered on, revealing an ancient human bunker. The walls were marked with the faded symbol of the old Terran fleet. Eli could hardly breathe. This is human?" "Yes," Aura replied. "This place was once a command post during the Great War. You were meant to find it." "I don't understand," Eli said, his voice shaking. "Why me? I'm nobody." The cube floated up, scanning his face. "Because you carry what others lost, human command code. The spark of leadership, the reason your kind once ruled the stars." The bunker trembled as alien drones began cutting through the upper floors. Aura's voice turned urgent. "They are coming. If they capture me, the last human data will die." Eli clenched his fists. For the first time, something changed in his eyes. Not fear, but determination. "Then we fight," he said quietly. Aura paused as if surprised. "Commander." "Your orders?" "Show me what humans used to be," Eli said. The walls came alive. Holograms flickered. Mighty human ships flying across galaxies. Soldiers standing together. A blue planet shining in the distance. Eli's eyes widened. He whispered almost to himself. "We were strong once. We can be strong again." Above, the aliens broke through the ceiling. Aura's lights turned red. "Understood, Commander. Activating defense protocol." As the room filled with blinding light, Eli stood still, facing the invaders. For the first time in his life, he didn't feel small. The forgotten kid of Mars was about to begin a war that would shake the entire galaxy. The world was silent. Only the sound of Eli's slow breathing filled the dark room. When he opened his eyes, soft blue light surrounded him. He was lying on a metallic bed inside the underground bunker. His body ached. His clothes were torn. For a moment, he didn't know where he was. Then he saw the floating cube beside him, dim, cracked, but still glowing faintly. "Aura," he whispered. The cube flickered. The same gentle female voice replied, though weaker now. "Commander, you are alive. System stable at 23%. I used emergency defense mode." Power nearly gone, Eli sat up slowly. The bunker lights turned on one by one. Dust fell from the ceiling. Everything around him looked ancient. Old computers, broken screens, and faded banners of the Terran fleet. "What happened to the others?" Eli asked. "There are no others," Aura said quietly. "You are the first human I've spoken to in 300 years. Those words hit Eli like a storm. 300 years, no humans? He stood and looked around the silent base. "How did we lose everything?" he asked. Aura's light brightened slightly. A hologram appeared in front of him. A vast star map showing thousands of systems, most marked with red crosses. "Humans fought the Galactic Union," Aura explained. "They feared your evolution, your creativity. The Council banned human advancement. When Earth fell, the last fleet scattered. Some humans became slaves. Some vanished." Eli stared at the hologram. His fists clenched. "So, the aliens erased us," Aura paused. "They tried, but not completely. Fragments of human intelligence were hidden, like me, waiting for someone who carried the right genetic code." "Me?" Eli said, shaking his head. "I'm just a kid from a junk colony." "No," Aura replied. "You are a descendant of the Command Gene Project. Humans born with tactical instincts. You are the last command link." Eli turned away, heart pounding. It didn't make sense. He had been invisible all his life, bullied, ignored, forgotten. How could he be special now? But Aura's tone grew stronger. "You can deny it, Commander, but the galaxy will not. The same blood that built empires flows inside you." Suddenly alarms blared. The bunker shook violently. Red warning lights flashed. Aura spoke fast. "Enemy drones detected. Alien patrols have traced our location." "How many?" Eli asked. 27, he swallowed. "And we have what?" "You and me?" Aura's lights shifted to bright blue. "And one forgotten weapon." A large metal door opened at the far end of the bunker, releasing cold mist. Inside was a circular platform with a giant sphere of frozen glass. "What is that?" Eli asked, stepping closer. "The neural core of Titan Arc-01, Aura said. "One of the last human warships, buried beneath the Martian ice." Eli touched the frozen surface. "Can we reach it?" "Not yet," Aura said. "You must restore my power. Then I can unlock the Titan's control codes." The bunker shook again. Dust fell from the ceiling. A blaster beam burned through the wall, nearly missing Eli. Alien voices echoed. The hunters had found them. "Commander," Aura said calmly, "you must choose. Escape route C through tunnels, or activate manual defense and fight." Eli looked at the shaking door. His heart raced. The old Eli, the scared boy from Red Haven, would have run. But something inside him had changed. He looked at the cube. If we run, they'll find us again. If we fight, we make them remember humans. Aura's light pulsed like a heartbeat. Acknowledged. Manual defense active. Panels on the wall slid open, revealing ancient human turrets. Blue energy charged through cables. The door exploded inward and alien soldiers stormed in. Eli dived behind a console as plasma bolts filled the air. Aura's turrets answered with lightning blue fire. The room became chaos. Metal melted, smoke rose, and one by one the invaders fell. Eli grabbed a fallen blaster. His hand shook, but he aimed and fired his first shot. It hit an alien right in the chest. The creature fell. When the last drone exploded, silence returned. The bunker lights flickered. Eli breathed hard, smoke around him. He looked at the glowing cube. "We did it." "Yes, Commander," Aura said softly. "You fought well, like your ancestors." Eli smiled for the first time in years. "Maybe I'm starting to believe you." But Aura's tone turned serious again. "Then believe this. The Titan is calling. I can feel its signal beneath the ice. It wants to wake up." Eli's eyes widened. "Then let's wake it." The ground trembled, a deep, distant rumble echoing through the tunnels. Somewhere under Mars, something massive was coming back to life. Aura's voice whispered through the static. "The age of humans is not over. It's just asleep." Eli looked up, eyes glowing with determination. The forgotten boy had just taken the first step to becoming a legend. The ground beneath Mars trembled like a sleeping giant turning in its bed. Dust fell from the bunker ceiling as lights flickered. Eli stood in the middle of the control room, staring at the shaking walls. Aura's blue glow pulsed brighter than ever. "It's awakening," she said softly. "Titan Arc 01 is responding to your signal." Eli swallowed hard. "How big is it?" Aura projected a hologram. A massive ship 10 kilometers long, shaped like a blade of light. "The Titan was built as humanity's final weapon," she said. "Half machine, half living system. Designed to be unstoppable." Eli couldn't believe it. That thing was buried under their feet. Before he could speak, a sharp alarm echoed. Aura's tone changed. "Commander, alien reinforcements approaching. Multiple ships landing near the colony." "They know." Eli's heart raced. "Then we move. Show me the path." Aura opened a steel door leading down a spiral tunnel. Blue emergency lights guided the way. As Eli ran, the walls around him began to glow faintly. Ancient power lines coming alive after centuries of silence. "Titan's core is beneath the southern ice chamber," Aura said. "But its systems are frozen. You must reach the control heart and link directly." Eli didn't hesitate. He ran faster, his breath forming clouds in the freezing air. The tunnel widened into a cavern, enormous, filled with glowing frost. And there, resting in the ice, was the ship. It was like a mountain made of black steel and silver veins. Strange lights shimmered beneath its surface. Even half-buried, the ship radiated power. Eli took a slow step forward. "It's beautiful," Aura's voice echoed through the cavern. "The last of its kind. Humanity's final sword." As Eli approached, alien dropships roared above the crater. Blinding spotlights cut through the fog. Dozens of armored aliens descended on jetpacks, weapons ready. Eli hid behind a rock. "They're already here." "You must reach the bridge," Aura urged. "Once I link with the Titan, we can defend ourselves." Eli sprinted toward the frozen hull. Blaster fire burned the air behind him. He jumped across ice cracks, slid under metal beams, and climbed a broken ramp. When he placed his hand on the ship's cold surface, a sudden warmth spread through him. "Biometric match," Aura announced. Command gene recognized. Initiating awakening protocol. The ice began to melt. Steam hissed around him. The Titan's engines hummed like thunder. The aliens froze, staring as the ground shook violently. "What's happening?" Eli shouted. "The Titan remembers," Aura said, her voice now inside his head. "It remembers war. It remembers loss. It remembers humans." The ship's eyes, giant blue reactors, opened for the first time in centuries. A beam of light burst from beneath the ice, throwing the alien troops into chaos. Eli climbed onto the surface as panels opened to form a ramp leading inside. He ran through the rising smoke and entered the control bridge, a vast hall filled with old seats, shattered screens, and glowing consoles. Aura's hologram appeared beside him, now taller, clearer, almost human in form. "Welcome aboard, Commander." Eli looked around in awe. "This ship, it's alive." "Yes," Aura said. "And it has been waiting for you." The ship shook again, enemy fire from above. Red warning symbols appeared on the glass windows. "They're attacking," Eli said. "Can we fight back?" "Not yet. Systems at 40%. But the main reactor can start with your neural link." Aura pointed to a glowing chair in the center of the room. Cables extended like veins. Eli hesitated, then stepped forward. "Will it hurt?" Aura smiled faintly. "Pain is proof you're still human." He sat down. The cables connected to his arms and spine. The world flashed white. Suddenly he saw everything: stars, systems, heat signatures, and alien ships circling above. The Titan's mind opened to him like a second heartbeat. He could feel its hunger to move, to fight, to fly again. "Commander," Aura's voice echoed in his head. "Give the order." Eli raised his hand. "Rise." The ice exploded outward as the Titan broke free. Its engines roared like thunder gods. The ground split. Mountains of snow collapsed as the ship lifted into the sky, glowing brighter than the sun's. Alien ships scattered in panic. The Titan's cannons locked onto them. "Targets identified," Aura said. "Then fire," Eli commanded. Blinding beams of blue energy ripped through the air. Alien vessels exploded one by one. The sky turned into a storm of fire and light. Inside the bridge, Eli stood in the command chair, eyes wide with disbelief. "We're actually winning." "For the first time in centuries," Aura said proudly. "A human ship flies again." The Titan soared above Mars, leaving trails of lightning across the clouds. But as the last enemy ship fell, a faint signal echoed through the comms, a human voice, weak and static-filled. If anyone can hear this, this is Captain Raina Holt. Human fleet, we're still alive. Eli froze. Another human? Aura turned toward him. Commander, the signal is coming from deep space. The edge of the Orion Rift. Eli looked at the stars beyond the cockpit window. His expression hardened. Then that's where we go next. The Titan's engines flared, and the ship vanished into the black sky, leaving behind the ashes of Mars and the beginning of humanity's return. The Titan sliced through the black sea of space like a burning comet. For the first time in centuries, a human ship flew again, proud, defiant, alive. Inside the command bridge, Eli Dre stood before the viewing glass, eyes locked on the stars ahead. His reflection looked older now, not by years, but by the weight of what he had seen. Aura, he said quietly, play the signal again. A soft static filled the air, followed by a faint human voice. This is Captain Raina Holt. Human fleet, we're still alive. Eli clenched his fists. She's out there, somewhere. The signal originates from the Orion Rift, Aura replied. Coordinates received. But Commander, the rift is dangerous. It's a graveyard. Then it's the perfect place to hide, Eli said, determination in his tone. Set course. The Titan jumped to warp. Stars stretched into silver lines as the ship vanished into hyperspace. Hours later, the ship exited warp into a field of debris, broken metal, shattered hulls, and pieces of old war machines floating endlessly. This, Eli whispered, this was a battlefield. Aura projected a hologram. Yes, the final stand of the Terran Vanguard fleet. They fought here until every ship fell. The Council erased this place from all maps. Eli looked out. Thousands of wrecks drifted silently, each carrying the ghost of humanity's last fight. But deep inside the fog of dust and ice, something still glowed faintly. What's that light? He asked. Unclear, Aura said. It matches human energy signatures, centuries old. The Titan moved closer, its massive hull gliding through the graveyard. As they approached, the faint light grew stronger, until it revealed an unbelievable sight. Hidden between asteroids was an entire fleet, dozens of ships, still intact, frozen in time. Some had giant holes, others were scorched, but many looked ready to fly again. Eli's voice trembled. The hidden fleet. Aura's tone grew softer. I'd hoped the legends were true. These ships went dark before the final war. Their captains chose cryosleep, waiting for a signal to wake them. Eli's heart pounded. Then let's wake them. Aura nodded. Activating command beacon. A golden pulse of light shot from the Titan, rippling across the dead fleet. One by one, the old human ships lit up, engines flickering, windows glowing. Inside, cryopods began to hum. Eli watched in awe. Then a voice came through the comms. This is Captain Raina Holt. Identify yourself. Eli smiled. Captain, my name is Eli Dre. The Titan is awake. Humanity is not finished. There was silence. Then a sharp reply. Impossible. The command bloodline was lost. Aura appeared beside him as a hologram. Verification code Aura-01, gene line confirmed. Gasps echoed through the comms. Then another voice said softly, he's one of us. Within minutes, small human shuttles began docking with the Titan. Soldiers stepped out, tired, pale, but alive. Their uniforms were centuries old, yet their eyes burned with hope. Captain Raina Holt entered the bridge. Her hair was silver, her face scarred, but her posture was that of a warrior. She looked at Eli carefully. You're just a kid, she said. Eli nodded. A kid who found what everyone else forgot. Raina smiled faintly. Then maybe you're exactly what we need. For hours, the reawakened humans gathered on the Titan. They shared stories of old battles, lost families, and betrayal. Some wept when they saw Aura's projection, their once forbidden AI, but hope didn't last long. Aura's voice turned sharp. Commander, long-range scanners detect movement. Alien signatures, hundreds of them. Eli turned toward the window. Outside, the stars began to darken as alien ships appeared, massive, cold, and ready for war. Raina looked at him. They must have followed your trail. The Council never wanted us to return. Eli's jaw tightened. Then let's show them what humans do when we're cornered. Aura activated the battle systems. All ships synchronize with the Titan. Command link established. Across the hidden fleet, engines roared. Old ships powered up, weapons charging. The silence of centuries shattered. Reyna shouted, "Formation Delta! Protect the Titan!" The alien fleet opened fire first. Blue plasma tore through the void. Human ships dodged, countered, and returned fire. Explosions bloomed like stars dying in slow motion. Eli stood at the command deck, controlling strategies through the neural link. His vision merged with the battlefield, every ship, every maneuver moving under his will. "Focus fire on their flagship," he ordered. The Titan's cannons lit up. A beam of energy cut through the alien command ship, splitting it apart. Cheers erupted through the comms. But then Aura said something that made Eli freeze. "Commander, they are retreating." But not in fear. "They are signaling the Council." Reyna's face darkened. "The Council knows you exist now. They won't stop until they have you." Eli looked at the stars, breathing heavily. "Then they'll have to come and take me." The hidden fleet burned behind him, reborn from dust and death. Humanity was no longer forgotten. It was rising. The silence before the storm was always the loudest. Eli Dre stood at the Titan's command deck, watching the stars pulse with red warning lights. Across the void, the alien fleets of the Galactic Council were gathering, thousands of ships stretching beyond sight. Humanity had been quiet for 3 centuries. Now the galaxy wanted to silence them again. Captain Reyna Holt joined him, her uniform scorched from the last battle. "They're not coming to negotiate," she said flatly. Eli didn't look away from the window. "Good. I'm not here to beg." Aura's holographic form appeared beside them, her tone calm but sharp. "Enemy forces outnumber us 50-1. Direct combat will result in 98% probability of human extinction." Reyna sighed. "Then what do we do, Commander?" Eli turned, his young face hard but calm. "We don't fight their numbers. We fight their pride." Hours later, the human fleet floated in formation near the asteroid field. Wrecks from old battles drifted like ghosts. Perfect cover for what Eli planned. He looked at the holographic map. "If we strike their lead dreadnought, their formation will collapse. We use the debris field to hide, hit fast, vanish faster." Reyna raised an eyebrow. "You sound like a ghost, Commander." Eli smiled faintly. "Maybe that's what humans have become." Aura announced, "All systems armed. Titan's primary cannons online." As the alien fleet advanced, their broadcast filled the comms. A deep voice from the Council Admiral. "Human remnants, surrender your vessel. You are a dead species pretending to live." Eli replied calmly. "Dead things don't talk, Admiral." Then he gave the order. "Aura, fire!" The void exploded with light. Titan's cannons unleashed a beam so bright it tore through 3 enemy ships instantly. Human destroyers emerged from the asteroid shadows, firing torpedoes and plasma bursts. The alien fleet panicked, breaking formation. But within minutes their numbers closed in, surrounding the humans like a steel cage. Reyna shouted, "We're boxed in." "Not yet," Eli said. Aura, full thrust through the debris line. Split the formation. The Titan roared forward, engines burning brighter than suns. It smashed through broken ships, scattering debris into enemy lines. The shockwave blinded half the fleet. Aura reported, "Enemy navigation disrupted." "You've created confusion." "Good," Eli said. Reyna, tell the others to hit their engines. "We cut off their power, not their guns." Human ships darted through the chaos, small and fast compared to the alien giants. They attacked from blind spots, striking reactors and weak points. Explosions lit the dark like fireworks. But for every alien ship that fell, 5 more appeared. Aura's tone shifted. "They are adapting. Reinforcements entering orbit." Eli gritted his teeth. "Then we changed the rules." He pulled up a hidden command file Aura had shown him earlier. Project Phoenix Protocol. Reyna saw it and froze. "That's suicide. You'll blow half our fleet." "It's the only way to buy time," Eli said. "Activated on my mark." The Titan descended toward the nearby planet, a dark, lifeless rock. Enemy ships followed, thinking they had cornered him. But they didn't see the storm waiting below. Aura counted down. "Detonation in 30 seconds. Reyna whispered. "You're just a kid. How can you be this brave?" Eli smiled weakly. "Because no one ever expected us to survive. That's our strength." As the alien fleet closed in, the Titan dropped dozens of magnetic warheads into the planet's surface. Aura's countdown hit 0. The planet erupted. A chain reaction of explosions ripped across the crust, sending shockwaves through space. The alien fleet was caught in the blast. Hundreds of ships torn apart by fire and gravity. The Titan barely escaped, engines straining, hull cracking. Eli gripped his seat as alarm screamed. Aura, status. Severe damage to lower decks. Reactor unstable, but we're alive. Reyna stared at the dying battlefield. Half the alien armada gone, the rest retreating. You actually did it. Eli stood slowly, breathing hard. No, we survived it. The war's not over yet. Aura's hologram flickered. Commander, I intercepted a council transmission during the battle. They issued a direct command, us bring the boy alive. Eli frowned. They know who I am. Reyna asked, why do they want you alive? Aura hesitated. Because, Commander, you are not just a descendant of human command DNA. You were created by the Council. Silence filled the bridge. Eli stared at her, disbelief in his eyes. What did you say? Your genome, Aura said softly. It matches Council experimental files. You were part of their secret project to control humanity through a chosen child. Eli felt his heart pound. His breath trembled. They made me to destroy my own kind? No, Aura said, her voice almost human now. They made you to rule it. The stars outside burned red from the fading battle. The truth was out, and the war for humanity had just become personal. The stars drifted silently outside the Titan's cracked windows. Inside the command bridge, Eli Dre stood alone, motionless, his reflection staring back at him through the glass. His hands were shaking. He had faced alien warships. He had woken an ancient Titan. But this truth broke something inside him. You were part of their secret project, to control humanity through a chosen child. Aura's voice still echoed in his mind. The same voice that had guided him, saved him, called him commander. Now it felt like betrayal. Eli turned sharply. Tell me everything, Aura, no more secrets. The holographic figure flickered, hesitant. Commander, the information is classified. You may not be ready. I'm ready, he shouted, slamming his fist on the console. Tell me who I am. Aura's form brightened, eyes glowing like twin stars. You were born from Project Genesis. The Council created a human child engineered with command DNA, capable of controlling ancient Terran technology. You were meant to unite humans under their rule. Eli felt the air leave his chest. So I was never chosen by fate. I was built by my enemies. Aura's tone softened. Yes, but you were also hidden from them. Someone on the Council changed your records, sent you to Mars. They tried to erase you. Who? Eli demanded, unknown. Files deleted before the fall. Silence filled the bridge. The low hum of the ship was the only sound. Reyna Holt entered carrying a datapad. I heard the shouting. What happened? Eli didn't look at her. I was never one of us. The Council made me. Reyna froze. You're saying yes, Eli said bitterly. The boy who brought back humanity was designed by the same monsters who destroyed it. She stared at him for a long moment, then placed a hand on his shoulder. Listen to me, kid. You might be their creation, but your choices are yours. You saved us. That's what matters. Eli looked up slowly. Her words hit something deep inside him, the part of him that refused to be controlled. Aura interrupted. Commander, we're receiving a transmission directly from the Galactic Council. The bridge darkened. A massive hologram appeared. 12 alien figures cloaked in gold and black, their faces hidden behind light. The center figure spoke with a calm, cold voice. Eli Dre, or should we say, Prototype 9. Eli's jaw tightened. You know who I am then. Of course. You were our greatest creation, the perfect human commander. But you rebelled. You've become a threat to the balance of the galaxy. Reyna stepped forward. You call genocide balance? The Council ignored her. Surrender yourself, Prototype. We will spare what remains of your kind. Eli laughed. Quiet at first, then louder, echoing through the bridge. Surrender? You erased my planet. You enslaved my people. And now you want me to kneel? You misunderstand, the Council leader said. You were meant to lead. Under our control, humanity could serve a higher order. Without us, you are chaos. Eli's eyes burned with fury. Then I'll show you what chaos really means. Aura's lights flared. Commander, signal locked. We can trace their location. Reyna turned to him. Are you serious? You want to go there? Their capital? Eli nodded. We end this where it began. Hours later, the Titan descended into the heart of the Council's homeworld, a vast planet of crystal towers and shining oceans. Every defense system aimed at them. Every alarm screamed their arrival. But the humans didn't come to hide. They came to make history, Aura whispered in Eli's ear. This planet's central chamber holds the genetic vault, the source of the Genesis program. Destroy it and the Council loses its control over every hybrid in the galaxy. Eli marched down the ramp with Reyna and his soldiers. The air shimmered with heat. Alien guards surrounded them, weapons drawn. The Council's golden gate opened. The same 12 figures stood waiting high above on their marble platform. The leader spoke. You dare bring war into our sacred hall? Eli looked up fearless. You brought it to mine first. With a single gesture, Aura hacked the defense grid. Lights exploded. Doors sealed shut. Alarms wailed. Now! Eli shouted. The humans charged. Blaster fire roared. Energy shields flared. The Council chambers became chaos. Eli fought his way to the central vault, a giant glass core pulsing with blue light. Aura's voice echoed in his mind. This is it, Commander. The source of their power. One shot will end them. Eli aimed his blaster. But then froze. Inside the glowing chamber, floating in stasis, was something unexpected. A child. A human child, he whispered. What is this? Aura scanned it. A clone. The next prototype. They were rebuilding you. Eli's heart twisted. Another me? The Council leader's voice thundered from above. You see now? You are not unique. You are a pattern we can remake any time. Eli's hand shook. For a moment he hesitated. Then he lowered the blaster slightly. No, he said softly. I'm not a pattern. He turned to Aura. Activate overload. Wipe it all. Aura's light glowed brighter. Confirmed. The vault erupted in a storm of white fire. Energy waves tore through the chamber, shattering walls and sending the Council flying. Reyna grabbed Eli as the Titan's teleport beam pulled them back. They appeared on the bridge, coughing, burned, but alive. Outside, the Council's planet burned, its towers collapsing into the sea of fire. Aura's voice faded, weak. Commander, my systems are failing, but you did it. The galaxy is free. Eli placed his hand on the console. No, Aura, we did it. The ship rose into the stars as the Council world died behind them, a symbol of human vengeance and rebirth. Eli looked out at the endless sky. For the first time, there were no masters, only choices, and the final choice was his. The stars burned brighter that night. The Titan drifted silently through the void, scarred, cracked, but still flying. The war was over. The Council's homeworld lay in ashes behind them, its golden towers now nothing but smoke and dust. On the bridge, Eli Dre stood in silence. His reflection shimmered in the cracked glass. He looked older now, not by age, but by memory. The boy from the Martian mines was gone. In his place stood a leader. Aura's voice was faint, almost like a whisper of wind. Commander, we are receiving transmissions from across the galaxy. Civilizations are calling for new leadership. The Council's fall has left a void. Eli exhaled slowly. And they're looking to fill it. Many worlds speak your name, Aura continued. Human, alien, even former enemies. They call you the one who ended the age of rulers. Captain Reyna Holt entered the bridge, her arm in a sling, eyes tired but proud. They're waiting for your answer, Eli. What should we tell them? Eli turned toward her. Tell them the truth, she raised an eyebrow. Which truth? That I never wanted to lead anyone. I only wanted to remind them that freedom was worth fighting for. Reyna smiled faintly. And that's exactly why they'll follow you. Outside the ship, dozens of human vessels hovered in formation, the reborn human fleet. Around them, alien ships joined in silence, lowering their weapons as a sign of peace. The galaxy was changing. Aura projected a galaxy-wide broadcast. You must speak, Commander. Billions are listening. Eli stood before the hollow camera, his uniform torn, a scar across his cheek, his voice steady. He didn't look like a king. He looked like hope. My name is Eli Dre, he began, his voice echoing across the stars. I was born in dust, forgotten by my own kind. I worked for scraps under alien boots. I never thought I'd see the stars, Reyna, but I did. Because I refused to believe humanity was finished. He paused, eyes heavy with emotion. The Council thought they could control us. They thought humans were weak, violent, easy to erase. But they forgot what makes us human. We adapt, we endure, we rise. Across hundreds of worlds, billions watched. Miners on distant moons cheered. Pilots in alien fleets lowered their flags. And for the first time in centuries, the galaxy felt something new. Unity. Aura's hologram stood beside him, her form flickering. "They're hailing you as the new leader of the Galactic Council." Eli looked at her, quiet for a moment. The old council ruled through fear. "If I take their throne, it has to mean something different." Reyna stepped forward. "Then rebuild it, not as rulers, but as guardians." Eli nodded slowly. "A council for all species, no slaves, no masters." The Titan descended onto the ruins of the old council hall, the same place where Eli once stood as a prisoner. Now he walked the same path, surrounded by soldiers, captains, and envoys from across the galaxy. The floor was cracked, the air still smelled of smoke. But in that broken hall, something new was being born. As Eli reached the center platform, every being in the chamber knelt. Human, alien, machine. Aura's voice echoed softly through the hall. "Eli Dre, by choice of the free worlds, by the unity of the living, you are named the first leader of the new Galactic Council." Eli stood tall, his eyes bright beneath the pale light. "Then let's build something worth remembering." The chamber erupted with light. Holograms of all the known worlds appeared above him. Human colonies, alien planets, new alliances forming. The galaxy had never seen peace like this. Reyna whispered beside him, smiling. "Not bad for a kid from the scrapyards." Eli chuckled quietly. "Not bad at all." That night, as the celebrations filled the stars, Eli returned to the Titan's command deck one last time. The ship hummed softly as if it too could feel pride. "Aura," he said, "you still here?" Her voice came from the speakers, gentle and fading. "Always, Commander. But my systems are nearly gone. The energy core was damaged beyond repair." Eli swallowed. "Then rest. You've done enough." Aura hesitated. "Before I go, one last report. Humanity has been reborn, not by power, not by fear, but by will. You changed the course of every world, Eli." He smiled sadly. "No, we did." Aura's light shimmered one final time. "Goodbye, Commander." The bridge went quiet. For a long moment, Eli stood alone, eyes glistening. Then he looked out at the galaxy. The same stars that once ignored humanity now burned with life again. He whispered softly, "We fell once, but never again." Epilogue: years later, statues of Eli Dre would stand on dozens of worlds. Not as a conqueror, not as a god, but as a reminder that even the smallest spark can ignite the universe. And somewhere in the farthest sector of space, a faint blue light blinked within an old ship's core. Aura's final heartbeat. Still watching the stars, because humanity never truly dies. It only waits to rise again.